Well, hello there, Cyberpunkers. It's I, Captain Steve, and here is my review of Cyberpunk 2077. There's my beautiful character I created. Now, you do see him quite a lot in mirrors, cutscenes, and also in photo mode, and the photo mode is freaking awesome. Photo mode is one of my favourite things about Cyberpunk 2077. Sometimes you get the odd camera angle, though, but there's some brilliant effects in there, playing with the sort of like, and you can move your character around and do different poses. It's excellent, and add nozzle flare as well. Awesome, love it. And you get your own apartment. Sadly, you don't get to upgrade your digs, or at least I couldn't find a way to do it, and hopefully it's something that they look at maybe when it comes online. But although you can create your character, in the character customization, I must say, you feel a little bit sort of like driven into what you can wear by what you pick up and the stats they have. I mean, I look like a giant leprechaun there. It's not the look I was going for, to be honest. I wanted to be in red and white and black to match my logo. I do like the skill tree, and I do like the perks that you can allocate to different attributes. It's like I want to get my pistols up as high as I can because I love the pistols, and I love the pistol animations like spinning the gun round and the flicking out of the cartridges and things, and the reloading animations. Beautiful. And the little smacking them about the head with that pistol whipping people. Awesome. I like the pistols. Okay, you probably can gather. So yeah, I do like the skill trees. I like how you progress and how you can allocate different points and perks. And then sometimes you get to areas like this and you realise, oops, I've allocated them in the wrong places because I can't rip open gates and I can't hack my way in. So the only thing I can do is smash windows and climb through and like cut myself to ribbons. But yeah. Or just try to find another way around, like walk around for half an hour trying to find a back entrance, or scale the frickin' fence and find it's got razor wire on the top. So yeah, look, you can quite easily see that there's frickin' razor wire up there, but I've got the great idea of jumping on a car and then touching the damn stuff. What the fudge was I thinking? I love the immersion in this world. It is amazing. So yeah, you meet some awesome people. The character design is brilliant. The costume design is brilliant. The cars and the interiors of the cars, fantastic. And the actual world itself. Oh my days, the world itself is amazing. I mean, even when you're sitting in the passenger seat, you can't just help but move the sticks around to look out all the windows, taking all the sights, taking all the visuals, all the billboards, all the advertising. It just feels like a believable living world, and they have done such a fantastic job on realisation of that. And the characters, how they interact with you, and the voice acting, it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel bad, it actually feels right. It really does. And the gangs have got their own sense of identity, and the actual clothing that they wear, it's brilliant. And all the different zones that they're in, you kind of know when you're entering into different zones and things. It's quite cool. Well, you usually get a phone call from one of the fixers in that area, which can be a bit annoying to get a phone call when you're halfway through trying to do something else. I must admit, there is a lot going on, sometimes a bit too much going on, but then the world has got a lot going in. You can walk around an alley and just find some guy knocking out some other guy and spitting on them. What the fuck? Really? Yeah, in this instance, I was like, yeah, I'll throw a grenade at you. Missed. So then I just pummel him in the head. Take this, you little head, and ring that bell. Chicka-pow, pow, chicka-boom, boom, chicka-pow, chicka-pow. Yeah, I nearly killed him. I stopped myself before I killed him, because then the cops might get called and I might get a wanted level. But look, it's killed that guy, freaking evil git. I have no idea what that was about, and it's just so cool how you can just bump into that sort of stuff. The combat element is awesome in this game, I must say. I really enjoy the combat element. Sometimes when you've got an underpowered gun, it does feel like the characters are a bit of bullet sponges, but that's because you've got an underpowered gun and they've got loads of cyber freaking tech. What I would say that is you have to sort of scout the areas out using your scanner, your optical scanner, because people can actually hack you. You need to take out the people that can hack you, and also take out all the cameras and things, because they can hack you. And if you do get hacked, you get this sort of thing where you've got this burn level. You can see it on the screen now. It's going up saying I'm going to overheat in there. That's because they've hacked me. And I did not know that was a thing for some time. I had to Google why I kept overheating and work out exactly what was going on there. Yeah, take out all the video cameras, take out any of their hackers or cyber nerds before you actually take out some of the bigger guys. Just take out the nerdy ones. Then that stops that from happening. But apparently there's something on the skill tree as well that can stop that from happening. Not that I've managed to unlock that perk, because I stuck them in all the areas that do all my reflexes. I'm a little gun ninja, freaking gun ninja. But yeah, you can be whatever you want to be in this, but I can't rip open doors, I can't hack open doors, so I have to crawl through windows and think, yeah, that's the life of a gun ninja. So there we go. But yeah, combat is freaking ace. And look at that, I pummeled him in the face. That's what I mean by gun ninja. Freaking heck yes, everybody needs to be a gun ninja. Fucking yes. Yeah, and yeah, the adrenaline pumps and things, and the pumps to actually get your health back is quite cool. But here you go, I'm going to do something ninja now. I'm going to sneak up to that guy by the furnace and freaking take him out ninja style, freaking assassin. Here we go. Pow, boom. Sadly, I haven't seen too many sort of animations that are kill animations. Maybe if you've got those claw things that make you look like a freaking mantis on steroids, maybe you might get a different animation. These two guys, they're plugged into VR, and I thought, oh, I've got a new gun, I'll test this out. They're bad guys. They're bad guys that have done terrible things. Spray painted the wall with their freaking brains. Right, okay, let's take out that camera because we don't want to get hacked. There you go. They didn't even see it coming. They didn't see it coming. Right, the game has got so much in it that makes you sort of laugh like that. And there's combat scenes where you have to think a bit, you know. So I'm going to shoot him in the frickin' leg. There you go. I'm going to make him bleed out all over so I'm going to blow his frickin' leg off. There we go. That's, but you can see there, it's not sort of swaying backwards and forwards. I can't actually, I don't know what's going on there. There are some times where there's a few little sort of odd, weird glitches that happen that kind of break the immersion slightly. I think he's got a little ball patch on the back of his head. I'm loving that sort of little detail as well, you know. There's so many different sort of character formations in this game. You can see some quite large people walking about in the streets. There's kids as well. You don't often see kids in games, but there's kids in the streets too, which is cool. One of them was playing with a gun though and sticking it in her own face and stuff. I think that might have been a bug. I think they may be fixing that. So there has been a bug update, in fact, chums. So yeah, anyway, when you get to the end of beating people up and all these sort of things, you do get to become a hero sometimes. You do rescue people. It's not all about being a complete git. You know, V is a git, but he's also like a likable rogue, because he does save a lot of people as well in the actual process of being a git. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, there is some patch fixes that just came out today, and I've been playing all day and getting all this footage together. And yeah, I've had 2 crashes in about 7 hours or so. So yeah, it's a bit better than it was before, because I was getting crashes like every hour. And the reason I love this game is because of the tech, because of the future and the environment it creates. And there's some real Matrixy type moments, and it's freaking excellent. I mean, look at this, look at this. So cool. So I was in an ice type bath there, and then they initiate something, and I go into this other sort of Matrixy type world where it's all sort of like particles, and I'm actually sort of in the net, and these are like net runners and stuff. But it goes almost Tron-like, and I love that. It's got this sort of retro, grimy type feel to it, and it just looks excellent. I just so wish this game was VR. If this game was VR, I would have scored it high 90s. I really would have, because the immersion and the story for this game in VR would just work. It would just be magical. It'd be the best VR game to date. It really would. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, it'd be amazing. Anyway, yeah, that's a future wish. I really hope it comes to VR. And then you get to also become Johnny Silverhand. I mean, I don't want to give too much away of the actual story, but you swap between being V and Johnny Silverhand. I mean, you probably would have gathered that anyway with some of the first-person scenes that you've seen in some of the trailers. And yeah, you get to actually live out part of it, and that's in 2023. I can't imagine our future in 3 years' time being anything like this. But yeah, pretty cool being Johnny Silverhand. There's some perks, and then there's some things that are super disturbing about playing Johnny Silverhand. You want an example of something disturbing when you're Johnny Silverhand? Take a look at this lady's eyes. Oh my god, it's the stuff of nightmares. Run for your lives. Heck yes. There are some perks of being Johnny Silverhand. And one of them, he gets the ladies. He really does. So there is quite a lot of romancing in this game. And there's quite a lot of adult sort of stuff going on here. So yeah, seriously, do not give this game to kids. Okay, it's an 18 for a freaking reason. And yeah, I've got the nudity setting turned off, so I don't see any nudity because of streaming, etc. But that would be a full-on naked scene. This is not a game you can sit comfortably on a sofa with your girlfriend sitting next to you either, guys. So yeah, word of warning. But yeah, the game is freaking sweet. There are some sort of puzzly type elements, if you want to call them puzzly type elements. It's like, at the moment, I'm heading down, I can see a van there, a brightly coloured one, looks like an ice cream truck, and I'm thinking about taking out the guys next to it, because they're gangers, no one really cares about them, and I get a phone call. I get a phone call. So I'm sitting behind this van, and thinking, oh, I hope they don't hear me chatting away on my phone and see me, because the idea is I'm going to sneak up, kill one of them, pow, gun ninja skills, and then kill the other one with my gun, pow, and nick their van, even though it's really brightly coloured. But yeah, there's no real need to actually buy a car in this game. You can pretty much hijack any car with very little skill on the skill trees to actually, I mean, look at the size of the map. I mean, I'm not going to walk that. So I've made my decision after that phone call. I am going to kill the guys, and I am going to take their van, because, you know, walking that distance, it's worth both their lives. So you sneak up behind this guy, pow, yeah, you're dead, take that, you, heck yes. And then this guy, pow, 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 chow, pow, pow, dead, dilly, dead, 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 dead. Right, cool, and I got myself of Hot Wheels, heck yes. Now what I would say is, you see where I was looting the guys there on the floor? Well, sometimes you go to loot them and you press square and you end up reloading your gun and you throw almost away a whole magazine. And bullets are quite... You don't get a lot of bullets in some cases, and you need those. And you can see here, I've gone in to check my audio settings because it's got music in the car. I found my audio settings kept changing back, which is a right pain in the neck for a streamer, because you could get a copyright flag for streaming music that you're not allowed to stream. And if the game crashes and you go all the way back out and you go back in, you just start playing, and you haven't gone back into your settings, it also leaves the nudity center tripped back on, so everybody's nude again. So yeah, I lost so much footage trying to actually make recorded segments for this, because it either had music on or nudity had turned itself back on due to a game crash, and I forgot to go into the settings, because you have to go to the settings from the main menu to turn off nudity. You can't do it while you're actually in the game. If you're in the game and nudity's on, it's freaking on, and you can't turn it off like through the game. Kind of annoying. And another thing I found is, if you're finding a section too hard, you can go into settings, turn it down to easy mode, do the actual thing, and then just swap it back to normal again after you reach the next checkpoint. If you do change it to easy from normal, or hard to normal, or easy, or whatever, you change the setting, it just takes you back to the previous checkpoint. So if you're finding that you're dying repeatedly, just change it to easy. But you're only cheating yourself, really. You're not going to get better at the game doing that. But yeah, there were some bits that were pretty damn hard. Right-ho. So here I am. That was driving a car. So driving the car is pretty cool. I quite like the physics of driving cars. I've seen people complaining about the driving physics, and they're not overly keen. I actually don't mind it. The thing I would find, though, is if you hit like just a little curb or something, you can end up tilting your car on its side. It's very sort of fidgety. And the motorbikes I find are a little bit more fun to drive. However, you see the windscreen, you kind of... It almost blanks out part of the screen. Yes, it's transparent, but not to the point where you feel comfortable looking through it the whole time. So, yeah, it just feels like you should be above it a bit more, you know what I'm saying? And I was constantly trying to look around it because I couldn't really properly see where I was going, which can be a bit annoying. Righto. Back to the characters in this game and the actual set. I mean, we're out of the city now, and it's clear you're out of the city. It's such a different environment. I really like this guy on the right with the hood and his robot arm. It catches the sun like his little elbow, and you just see it glint off and things. It's just brilliant. Whoever done the character designs, the costume designs, the whole styling of this game deserves a freaking medal or something. Just an award just for that. Just for the wardrobe ensemble. I mean, some people are pretty... The ones that they've actually spent time on, all the characters that you interact with. Amazing. Amazing. I mean, look at his other elbow. It's freaking cool, isn't it? There's so much to take in. You're constantly looking at things and going, wow. 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 It is one of those games that your jaw is hitting the floor, and the actual story and the immersion, you just want to keep coming back for more. And I have sat on my sofa for hours in front of this game, and I haven't felt bored, really. I mean, there are times where some of the scenes feel overly drawn out. It's like that whole Matrixy scene that we saw earlier, and you saw her face come up to the screen. That stayed on the screen there for about 2 minutes without her saying a word, and it's just floating around. You're thinking, Okay, how can I skip this? I can't. What the? And it just feels a little bit. There's a lot of sections that are sort of quite forced. It's like when you get into a car, you know you're going to be talking to them for about 2 minutes, and then you get the option to skip the journey, or you can actually watch where you're going and take in all the sights around you. Which, because of immersion, I don't really like hitting the skip button. So I've been watching everything, and that's probably why I haven't progressed as fast as I would have liked in the actual story. But at the same time, I have really enjoyed that level of immersion. And then you get little sections like this. There's little interludes. Like there's one bit where you're in a helicopter taking out stuff on a gun from the side of a helicopter, or from a car roof in this case. And both of them feel completely different to one another, which is great. And there's little sections like that that break up all the sort of normal combat elements. But I would say the combat elements feel kind of samey. Go in a building, take out the video cameras, take out the guys that can hack you, take out the bigger guys, pick everything up, and then either scrap the things that you've picked up because you're going to get too heavy, or look for a machine and sell them, and then it's kind of rinse and repeat combat style. But then those sections that we've got, like with the guns and things, kind of separate that, or hacking something. But what I really like is the interfacing with the tech, and the actual future sort of tech that we're seeing here, and the imagination of the actual developers with the holographic projectors and things like that. To imagine the sci-fi of tomorrow, which could end up being our future of today, is just amazing. And some of this stuff on here feels so on point with transhumanism, singularity, all this sort of stuff that we're hearing about, AI integration, cybernetics, the 3D printing of sort of cyborgy type hands and limbs and stuff. It all feels like we're heading this way. This could be a parallel universe, and this is very believable, especially with the amount of advertising and merchandising and things like that you're seeing being thrown at you, and the mobile tech, the mobiles that just don't leave you a freaking alone and stuff, and the messages popping up. It feels very real. It really does. Yeah, so yeah, that kind of rounds off a lot of my review. I'm loving this. I still haven't completed it, but I feel that I'm ready now to give a review. I feel that I've done enough of the game to understand what it's all about and what's going to be in the game from here on in, and what I'm probably going to get out of it. But I would say a lot of the characters you feel quite tied to, and some of those character journeys are just amazing. I have felt laughter, pain, and yeah, it's quite an emotional journey too. So I'm scoring this an 88. And the things I like the story and immersion, the combat and loot feels married up properly, it feels connected. I love the character styling, I like the music and the sounds. I love the gameplay, and value for money, I'm getting shed loads because there's so much game there. So much game. The bugs and crashes kind of kill some of that immersion. The saving is really freaking annoying for your settings. It just needs to save your settings. Long drawn out scenes, overly drawn out in some cases, and too much happening with mobile phone calls and that. And it feels a bit guided at times. It doesn't feel like you can fully explore as much as you want. But there we go.
If you're armed, place your weapon here. Now please report to room number 2. Room 2.
Please sit. Papers.
Is this routine?
It might be. We'll see. What are you transporting?
It's all in there.